Hello everyone, my name is Mimi79 and today we're back at Suzuka for some more daily racing. Back in the Nissan GTR once again, starting 11th this time because I kind of got a bit sick of starting last after a few races I had earlier. So basically, the problem with starting 11th is just look where we start. We start right bang on the apex, so it's pretty obvious that we're going to lose a lot of time, basically instantaneously, to everyone in front. So there's about 1.2 seconds to Kimi in front of us. So coming through the first corner, nice and easy on the power. Starting on the softs here because the two-stop is the way to go. It's the quickest strategy, as you only need to do one lap on the mediums, which is quite different from what I did on Monday, where I did 6 on the mediums and then 4 on the softs, I believe. So we've closed up massively on Kimi here in 10th place. So through the first Egner, really slow through there he was, that's what I noticed. And then through the second Egner, we just had to slow down to avoid hitting him. And this is the first race, actually, for a few, where I was actually S-rated. So I didn't really want to drop back down. SR down there, just a little tap can give you a penalty. I don't agree with the penalty system, but honestly, you just have to accept it. I got to the point where I honestly don't care if I get a penalty. I just kind of accept it. Pretty bold move down the inside. Had to do it though because I could tell he was quite slow. So up into 10th place, we just need to try and hunt down 9th here, because there is a massive train up to about 6th or 5th place. So if we could just latch onto that, then that would be pretty amazing. So through the final chicane, they really close up, so that's pretty good for our chances here. So down the main straight to begin lap number 2. We're just out of slipstream range of the Belgian behind. So the Spaniard's going to go for a move, I think, but it just kind of backs out last moment. So just need to stick behind for now and wait for an opportunity to make the move. So through the S's here, really nice and slow, but it's really annoying to nail this section when you're in the dirty A, because you just get heaps of understeer and it's hard to put the power down. So through the Dunlop curve, I was very close actually to running wide, which is basically akin to stabbing yourself. So not great. The Frenchman's off, so just had to move to the right hand side to avoid him. Really close to the Spaniard. I'm just going to think about a move, just not quite close enough though. His apex speed was quite slow, I would think, so that's kind of why I tapped him. Lucky I didn't get a penalty there, considering my luck earlier on in the day. So we're going to get a different angle here, going up to Spoon. Or we're going to think about the move. We're going to go to the inside. That's going to make him run wide, so that's going to allow us to get him on the second part of the corner. He runs wide again, so that just allows us to get the move done. That was quite calculated, I thought, because I knew that I couldn't get the move done on the first part Spoon. So I just made him run wide, and that allowed me to just slip down the inside. So coming into 130 out, taking a narrow line. Very lucky I didn't spin on the curve there, because it's basically a coin flip as to whether you do a 360 no scope or you kind of go through there fine. We're just going to get a different angle here as we go down the main straight to begin lap number 3. Just trying to get into the slipstream of the Belgian driver here. It seems that his little group has kind of dropped off at this point from kind of 5th and 4th and so on and so forth. So through the first corner, nice and early on the power, and then through the first lesson, we're just getting the dirty air here, so it's really hard to kind of flow through here, because if you're in the dirty air, it's absolutely horrible going through here because it's just understeer. So we're going to get a different angle through kind of the first and second Dagner. nice and early on the brakes so we could get the exit speed. He just kind of gets a little wobble there, so we're going to go to the inside of what will be the outside on the hairpin. So braking just a little bit later than him, and clean round the outside. He didn't get the best exit, I will say, but I did a move like that earlier before this race, and it was quite cool because you really feel like you've got control over the corner when you get the exit speed. So just trying to catch up to the Spaniard here, because he's our next target. We just run wide, and that's going to allow the Belgians to close up. If we got that exit, we could have probably caught up with him a little bit early, but he's got the overspeed, so just have to stick to the inside. We're just going to back out, because honestly trying to commit through there side by side is a bit stupid. Yeah, Fernando Alonso did it, but I'm not Fernando Alonso. I might have the race suit and the helmet, but I'm not the same person. So anyway, coming up to lap number 4, just sticking in the slipstream. That's what you've got to do. You've got to try and stick in the slipstream for the overtaking opportunities, but also you want to get out the slipstream for the twisty parts, so sector 1 and so on and so forth. So through turn number 2, clipping the apex nicely through the first, through the second. Are we going to hit it through the third? Yes, we are. And is it going to be a 4 out of 4? I sure do think so. So through the Dunlop curve, nailing the apex quite well there. So really just trying to close back up, because that kind of overtake he did at 130 lost me a lot of time, because I had to lift off through the apex of the corner. So just sticking behind for now. Just have to wait until spoon curve or something. So into the hairpin, just too far back to make a move. Trying to get on the power early, just get that little snap of oversteer, which really doesn't help, because out of that hairpin you need to get the power down early. That's where a lot of time on your lap is won or lost. So just avoid getting a bad exit through that corner. That's one piece of advice I can give. Don't hesitate to go on the power unless you know you're going to spin out. So really close to the Belgian here, just under a quarter of a second. Shifting up early, because I noticed that when I kind of revved out the engine, then I lost a lot of straight line speed into the final chicane, not close enough to go for a dive. So he pulls into the pits here, so it's just going to be a battle for 6th place for me and the Spaniard. So just sticking to the slipstream once more, because that's kind of the theme of this race. Just have to stick in that slipstream and then wait for a perfect opportunity to open up and then go for the move. So through the S section once more. Can't really find an opening here. He's just taking the perfect line, so I can't get past. Nice and early on the power though, so through Dunlop curve, nice and early on the power. You know, I'm thinking at this point I might go for a move into the hairpin. He takes the first angle really nice, but then completely hashes up the second one. Run wide on the exit, so I'm gonna go to the inside. You know, I was thinking about the outside once more, but the opportunity opened up for the inside and I just took it. So he's still side by side with us, but he just kind of backs out. So up into 6th place, which honestly isn't even that bad in a lobby of this caliber. Although to be fair, the caliber is only at the front of the race, to be honest. So if any of you who were in the race are watching, I'm not calling you slow, I'm just saying that the top drivers were at the front. So anyway, subtle insult over, back to the race. So through 130R, it's so fun, this track, I will be honest, in these cars, because you could take 130R flat, which is one of the problems of Group 3 and Group 4, you just can't take it flat. So coming into the pits for our pit stop here. So coming out in about 6th or 7th place here, So the Belgian just goes through. So 7th place we rejoin. We're on mediums though, so this is a bit of a strategic kind of deviation, because I wanted to try something different, because I thought I don't want to box at the end of the race, so I just want to get this stint over with. And plus we've just done 5 laps on the softs, which for this race is actually quite a lot, because your tyres really do start to wear out at the 4th or 5th lap. So through sector 2, we just need to get the degders right. Pretty decent through there, could be better. Although to be fair, my driving could be better. So coming into the hairpin, nice and late on the brakes, not touching the grass at all. And if you touch the grass at all, by the way, it really unsettles the car and the rear end will kick out. So just avoid doing that at all costs, because if you just clip it like the tiniest bit, it will throw you into a spin, and that will lose you countless time. So through the spoon curve once more, nice and early on the power. He is in the slipstream though, so I kind of wanted to let him through here, but he didn't know where to go, and that just kind of caused a massive confusion between us. So that we kind of lost about 2nd there, I think, just by utter confusion really. So coming into the pits here, we're going to fit on the soft tyres for the final stint of the race. So dropping places here, but that doesn't really matter all too much, as the pit loss is only about 5 seconds or so. So I've just managed to avoid the group behind, so we've got a bunch of clean air to work with. So we're just going to skip forward here, and now we're just about 2nd behind, and this is my fastest lap of the race. So through the first corner, really aggressive on the entry, early on the power on the exit. No dirty air as of yet, so I can really push through this S section. Nice and easy on the apex. I've really struggled with how I should take this final S here, because from what I've noticed, the fast drivers kind of go really aggressive on the entry, brake just a tad, and then power out on the exit. So through the first leg, they're really kind of pushing the limits there. Not the greatest run, I will admit, but we're in the slipstream now, so we should get the benefit of the toe on the straight. Into the hairpin, not the best. I did kind of tap the grass on the entry, which threw the car a little bit. So coming up to spoon, just picking up that slipstream, getting about half a tenth to a tenth or so on the Dane. 143, very interesting name. Nice and early on the power through spoon. Now onto the run to 130R, really gaining here in the slipstream. So are we going to make the move work into 130R? Not quite. We're just going to have to lift off, because there's no way I was going to commit. Down the inside, very bold move. 2 cars off there, so we basically gained 3 places for 1. So I'll take that. So we kind of have to avoid losing our place here, but he's got the slipstream and I can't really do anything now. I'm just going to stick to the left hand side. There's no point defending, so I'm just going to let him go and just wait until he makes a mistake or something, or until the hairpin. That could also work. So through the S section right behind, which is where you don't really want to be, because if they do something that's slightly unpredictable, but then he puts on these indicators, which in itself is quite unpredictable. So move back up to 5th. No idea why he did that. Maybe he felt sorry or something, I'm not sure. But back up into 5th, which honestly is a pretty decent turnout considering we started in 11th place. And when you start 11th, it's quite hard to make your way up, because you're kind of in the mid-pack, so a lot of the chaos will kind of go down. Through the hairpin, early on the power. Not the best though, I will say. Could have definitely gained time there. He's still in the slipstream, so just have to be wary of that. So coming through Spoon, just looking forward, the two drivers in front are starting to battle, so we could gain some time here. Just have to pump in the laps to, you know, gain those positions. But we're just going to skip forward because, you know, nothing happened and I just kind of pulled away. But at this point the gap's only 1.5 seconds, but maybe if we had one more lap I would have got them. So that's kind of the end of the video. If you did enjoy, leave a like and subscribe. You don't have to, of course, but I applaud you for making it to the end if you did. So leave feedback under the pinned comment. But that's all from me. Take care everyone and goodbye.